Early musical traditions during the 17th and 18th centuries saw the emergence of more complex carols, away from the repetitive ceremonial songs. These carols featured complex poetry based on canganeth. Some were sung to English tunes, but many used Welsh melodies, such as Fable Net Bew. The style of singing carols known as Plagian was particularly associated with Mid Wales and archive recordings of the carols. Folk singing competitions were by then already well established in the local and national Eisteddfodau, but their emphasis on classical vocal technique and delivery made these competitions less appealing for singers. The most common Welsh folk song is the love song with lyrics pertaining to the sorrow of parting or in praise of the girl. A few employ sexual metaphor and mention the act of bundling. After love songs, the ballad was a very popular form of song with its tales of manual labor, agriculture, and the everyday life. Popular themes in the 19th century included murder, emigration, and culinary disasters, sung to popular melodies from Ireland or North America. A crucial figure in revival of Welsh traditional music is the singer activist Meredith Evans, whose recordings of unaccompanied traditional songs from the 1970s was recently re-released along with some other performances with instrumental accompaniment. Traditional instruments. Like Ireland and Scotland, Wales has a vibrant, healthy, modern music scene based on instruments and music that stretch back hundreds of years. Wales has a rich musical heritage, and although many of its traditional instruments are not commonly heard, there are still musicians keeping their folk tradition alive, arranging and performing melodies that have been popular for centuries. Traditional instruments used in Welsh music include the whistle and flute, pipes and harp. Indigenous instruments include the crwth and pibgorn. The penny whistle. The penny whistle or tin whistle, also known as Scottish penny whistle, tin flageolet, Irish whistle, Belfast hornpipe, is a simple six-holed woodwind instrument. It has been a popular instrument with players throughout the world owing to its low cost, ready availability, and ease of construction. Whistle appeared in 1843 in England. The poor farmer Robert Clark had a wooden whistle and wanted to make a similar, but from the new material, tin plate, which then just appeared. The new tool was so successful that Clark decided to start his own business. He folded tin whistles from a sheet of tin. A conical tube was formed, which was then closed at one end with a wooden cork. A whistle was obtained, then holes were cut in the tube. A pipe cost 1 penny. Another name comes from this, penny whistle. Subsequently, tin whistles began to be made from various materials, from metal tubes, brass, aluminum, etc. Various types of plastic and other materials. The oldest whistle found in Wales is believed to be 900 years old and was found at Chalk Castle. It appears to have been made from the bone of an animal. The flute. The flute is a modern whistle. A close relation of the whistle is the flute. Until the late 18,000, most flutes were made out of wood, although most are now made from metal. It was usually played with other instruments such as the harp and fiddle. The black wooden flutes we see traditional players using today were once orchestral instruments that were discarded when the modern metal version came into use. The crith. One of the oldest of traditional Welsh instruments is the crith, also called a crowd or road. The crith is a Welsh term for a plucked and from about the 11th century a bowed form of stringed lyre which uses a bow to play the strings. The name crith is Welsh, derived from a Proto-Celtic noun crota, round object. It was played in Wales from the Middle Ages, which superseded by the fiddle. The range of notes is limited, with a range of just a single octave, and all the strings are played at the same time. The sound created has a droning quality which can be strange to the unfamiliar ear. The body, including the neck, is carved from a single block of sycamore in the age-old manner with the soundboard made of pine. The string holder at the back of the yoke was also hollowed out. The pibgorn. The pibgorn is a simple reed instrument once popular with shepherds and cattle drovers. The name translates literally as pipe horn. It is made up of a wooden pipe and the horns of a bull. One horn is used as a mouthpiece and another to form a bell and which helps amplify the sound. The pibgorn consists of 6 holes for the fingers and a thumb hole at the back, similar to a recorder, giving a range of 8 notes. It was used for playing dance music and passing the time on the cattle drovers. Pibgorns are rare instruments, although they can be made to order by specialist instrument makers. The pipe and tabor. Pipe and tabor is a pair of instruments played by a single player consisting of a 3-hole pipe played with one hand and a small drum played with the other. The tabor or drum hangs on the performer's left arm or around the neck, leaving the hands free to beat the drum with a stick in the right hand and play the pipe with thumb and first 2 fingers on the left hand. The pipe is made out of wood, metal or plastic and consists of a cylindrical tube of narrow bore pierced with 3 holes near one end, 2 in front and 1 in back. At the opposite ends is a fipple or block similar to that used in a recorder. 3-hole pipes made from bone and dating to the early Middle Ages have been found in England. Tabor pipes are widespread throughout the globe, found on most continents and in many countries. The fiddle. A fiddle is a bowed-string musical instrument, most often a violin. The fiddle is an integral part of Welsh folk music. Wales has a long tradition of fiddle playing and its music was popular with the great Romany families of Wales. Unlike the harp, there is no unbroken tradition of fiddle playing in Wales, but because the players wrote down their tunes, the repertoire has been preserved. Fiddles may optionally be set up with a bridge with a flatter arch to reduce the range of bar arm motion needed for techniques such as the double shuffle, a form of barrelage involving a rapid alternation between pairs of adjacent strings. Over the centuries, Europe continued to have two distinct types of fiddles, one relatively square-shaped, held in the arms, became known as the viola da Brazzo family and evolved into the violin. The other, with sloping shoulders and held between the knees, was the viola da gamba group. The harp, the instrument most commonly associated with Wales, is the harp, which is generally considered to be the country's national instrument. The harp is a multi-stringed instrument which has the playing of its strings positioned perpendicularly to the soundboard. It was used as a dance instrument and for playing tunes and airs. In Wales, the triple harp was popular, an instrument with 3 rows of strings, as opposed to the conventional harp, which has 1 row. On the one hand, it originated in Italy, but it is held up as the traditional harp of Wales. On the other hand, the triple harp appeared in the British Isles early in the 17th century, but it was quickly adopted by the Welsh harpers living in London during the 17th century. It has been the tradition in Wales to play the harp on the left shoulder, with the right hand playing the lower strings and the left playing the higher ones. This style of playing is possibly unique to Wales. The compass of the triple harp is about 5 octaves or 37 strings in the principal row, which is on the side played by the right hand, called the bass row. The middle row consists of 34 strings, and the treble or left-hand row numbers 27 strings. The outside rows are tuned in unison and always in the diatonic scale. Among the most important and characteristic playing techniques for the Welsh triple harp is that of unisons or split doubling. The effect of unisons is obtained by playing the same note on both the outside rows using the right and left hands in rapid succession. The Penellian is a traditional form of Welsh singing poetry, accompanied by the harp, in which the singer and harpist follow different melodies, so the stressed syllables of the poem coincide with accented beats of the harp melody.